Hello viewers, this is Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. How are you? We're heading into a new week. Of course, we had high drama last week with the release of the Mueller report. I wanted to get on here and have a look at a number of questions that have come up from viewers and just having a look at some of the current issues, at this time. I want to take a look at Rosenstein. I want to have a look at his impartiality. And whether or not he was threatened by Trump. There's been a lot of viewers' questions coming forward here. I do feel I had a lot of, intuitions around Rosenstein around, over Christmas and before the midterms as well, where I feel that he might have really been summons to the White House and being told, you rein this in, this is really damaging us. So I think the pressure was on Rosenstein just before the midterms. So we'll have a look at Rosenstein. I also want to really go to the immigration issue in the US. I saw a survey done by one of the television stations, media companies. Was it MSN or was it CNN? I'm not quite sure. But what they were saying, they basically polled voters on the issues that were important to them. Number one at 20% was immigration. Number two, I think it came in at around 16%, was the values and attributes of the leader of the presidency, I guess. And of course, then it went down. Mueller report was 0, and they made much of that. Now, there's a couple of things that I would say here. You can't believe all surveys. You have to have a look at the methodology, who was surveyed, how many were surveyed, was the survey sample representative, yada, 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 yada. So not all surveys. You need to be a little bit skeptical of surveys until you actually do see how they put those numbers together. But my feeling on this is that immigration is quite a significant issue to Americans, and sensible policies on immigration are really what's needed now. The fact that 16% or the next priority issue was attributes is telling me that people are rejecting the politics or the divisive politics, the wedge politics that Trump uses. Now, we know that immigration is one of his key wedge issues. So as he's shooting himself in the foot this time, of course, he sailed to victory in 2016. Not all, but some of his victory was because of the division and the wedge politics that he used at that time. 2020 is going to be a different time, though. So this focus on immigration that he's taking, is that going to be a vote winner, or is it not? Now, he's announced that he's going to be withdrawing aid from Central American countries. And what's that going to do? Is that going to push more asylum seekers across the border? Is this a calculated move by Trump? And we've got the border wall there as well, and Democrats, not in favour of border walls. So we've got a pretty key election issue. Now, in Australia, just to give you a bit of hindsight, what has happened here in Australia, we had an upsurge in arrivals from asylum seekers from the Middle East, particularly the Middle East, coming through Indonesia and taking boats. It was called people smuggling, taking boats to Australia, to Australian shores. Put a lot of pressure on our detention facilities. It was politicised by our previous Liberal government, which is equivalent to your Republicans. They were saying things like the immigrants were throwing their children overboard in order for the boat to be rescued and by the Australian Navy. We also had children behind razor wire, not behind cages or not put in cages, but we had children behind big fences with razor wire up the top. Such was the public outcry that those families got settled in society. As a result of that, we did not want children to be behind barbed wire fences. We then moved, because the boats kept coming, we then moved to the government, then moved to settling them offshore and holding firm with a policy that because people smuggling became a profitable business for the Indonesians. And people were paying big money to get on those boats and get to Australia, $5,000-$10,000. So it's a complex situation. You can't say that all asylum seekers are not asylum seekers. So a very, very complex situation. But I think suffice to say that Australians they have a history of rejecting cruelty, just as the Americans, at the outcry over those children in cages. That outcry was such that that judge has now said every single one of those children have to be reunited with their parents. But by the same token, the world's problems are, we're getting more and more displacement of refugees and asylum seekers. So what's the best way forward? What is the best way forward? So I think what that 20% is saying is that they want supportive immigration policy, and hopefully they're going to reject the wedge politics. Okay, so where will we start, viewers? Where will we start? Let's have a look at the effect of withdrawing the aid to those Central American countries. What effect will that have? Will it push more asylum seekers over the border? Trump's threatening to shut down the border. He's really going in hard on this issue. He sees it as a vote winner. It could well be a vote winner, but voters are likely to reject any policies where cruelty or a lack of compassion is shown. So Trump's not capable of that. But what's he trying to do? Is he just trying to cause by withdrawing that aid? Is he trying to cause a humanitarian crisis? I know viewers in El Paso, Texas, have commented that there is actually an upsurge in asylum seeking as the refugees think that the border is going to be closed. So is this Trump's twisted logic by withdrawing this aid? What do we need to know? Yes, I'm just getting a really strong yes. Expect it to get worse because he's going to because of this withdrawal of aid. What's his plan there? What's his plan in withdrawing this aid? What's his plan? What do we need to know about immigration, Trump's immigration policies, spearheaded by Stephen Miller? All right, we've got the Knight of Pentacles coming forward here. I'm using my pre-Raphaelite tarot deck. It's a new one that's come. I was unsure about it to begin with, but I've done a couple of readings with it, so I'm going to keep going with it. The Knight of Pentacles coming forward as reliability and patience, but it's also money news. So I feel that this is representing the withdrawal of those funds. I'll just bring the laptop down, and I'll just turn my phone on to silent because I've had a message come through. So this is representing the action taken through the withdrawal of funds. Now, what he's going to be challenged by is loss here. Now, we can see in this particular deck, this is the Five of Cups. Generally in other decks, it symbolises loss. But this person's also drinking from a cup. These cups currently are within reach, but she's not accessing them. There's also an element in this card of isolation. So it's showing me that withdrawing those funds is actually not going to be widely supported. Now we've got the Queen of Wands here. So this is the foundation of the reading. This was actually this is the withdrawal of funds. This is actually a plan. This is actually a strategy. This is actually also representing potentially Congress might have something to say about this. So he's threatening to withdraw those funds. He's certainly isolated in that move. It could be that Congress will have something to say. The Three of Pentacles here is representing the working with others and expansion. Who else is he working with on this plan? This is indeed, again, has a dark money aspect. It's also repair. I do feel that this is designed to win him votes. All right, so the Six of Cups, going back to the past, hearkening back to the past. An interesting card to draw here, because this, to me, almost represents the asylum seekers themselves. Let's just leave that. That's the potential of the reading. That's the potential of the present, going back to the past. This withdrawal of funds, is it going to be successful? Because we've got the Nine of Swords here, which is anxiety and worry. And it's connecting with the Six of Cups, wanting to go back to the past. This is reunions. This is going back to the self. He may not be successful in the immigration reforms he's trying to push through, because him at the moment, or the situation at the moment, this is around confusion, illusion and delusion. It's also around the smoke screens, and it's also having to make choices. So I feel that this withdrawal of funds is again another example of the way we see Trump operating, and that's throwing up these smoke screens. The environment around is the King of Cups. Okay, now this was my initial impression. People want sensible immigration policy. They do not want. They want support. They want compassion. The King of Cups is the benign parent, the compassionate parent, the supportive parent. They don't want this cruelty coming forward, and I feel that they're going to actually be seeing through these smoke screens that Trump is trying to put up. Now, the hopes and the fears. This is again the Page of Swords. This is around prizing open the truth. So I feel that Congress here is coming forward really strongly in relation to this immigration issue, and rightly so here, because we've got the Ace of Swords here. This is again the truth coming out. So with the immigration wedge politics, Trump is actually trying to bring forth again. And the cutting off of aid, I do feel that the Congress is going to have something to say. I don't feel it's all going to go Trump's way, but beware that, beware. I guess the understanding here is that Trump is trying to create the humanitarian crisis as a vote winner. He is well aware that immigration is a big concern amongst his voter base, and potentially could widen, could kind of hemorrhage out a little bit. However, what this reading is showing is that the average voter does not want cruelty. They want compassion, and they want support to asylum seekers. So Trump won't have it all his own way. All right, now let's go to Rosenstein. Or Rosenstein. Don't correct me. I don't really care whether it's Rosenstein or Rosenstein. We know who we're talking about. Okay, let's have a look at Rosenstein. Was he impartial? Was he threatened by Trump? And why is he staying on? We know why he's staying on. It's just, I think, really to assist Barr with the strategy in releasing the Mueller report. And we know what Barr's strategy is. All right. Was Rosenstein impartial? I'm getting the image of the Four of Swords, which is like a retreat card. I felt just before the midterms he made a compromise in some way. I don't know what that is, what that compromise was about. I guess it will come forward in the future. Was he impartial? Was he threatened by Trump? Rosenstein. The Queen of Swords here. Okay, let's bring the laptop down. The Queen of Swords. That's around the truth. That's around planning. That's around strategic planning. There's also an image in this card. I don't know if you can see it, but in the clouds, someone is blowing the clouds away. So this card is also showing that this person is not entirely satisfied. I think that could even be Rosenstein himself, that he was under pressure from Trump. Yeah, the Seven of Wands here, again, is having to protect himself. That's the challenge here. Okay, I see what's happened. Quite interesting cards to come out of the gate. Now, this is the King of Wands here. And this is really the top dog. This is, you know, the leadership card. It's the foundation of the reading. Was this Rosenstein or was this Trump? He certainly was threatened in some way, or had to defend himself, had to constantly justify himself. The many meetings that he would have had with Trump, and having to defend the Mueller investigation. Now, the Eight of Wands, things coming forward, you know, quite quickly and quite strongly. I feel these are almost like barbs coming down. I do feel that he was under extreme pressure from Trump. And we've got the Hierophant here, which is the government. Rosenstein, as the Deputy Attorney General who oversighted the Mueller investigation, had to be impartial. So I do feel that he was, but he was under extreme pressure, having to defend himself all the time. The Nine of Pentacles, I wonder, this card is coming forward in relation to the government. I feel this is around his benefits. I felt that he was under pressure when McCabe was sacked, just a day shy of his retirement. Now, I know Rosenstein had his retirement benefits in another fund. I understood that they were safer than McCabe's were. But this Nine of Pentacles is around having enough money to be independent. Oh, that could be saying that the threat around his benefits didn't go anywhere because he had them. I do feel, though, that he was on the verge of being sacked by Trump just before the midterms. The Four of Wands here is the celebration card. Reunion to self comes up a lot with the Democrats now, and in relation to the Mueller report. This is the situation at the moment. Someone's doing some celebrating. The environment around is the Knight of Wands, and this again is some sort of inspired action, but this person's not on the horse. They're not ready to ride with it yet. I'm not sure whether that is the inspired action from the Democrats. It's more really, I feel, this is the planning around that the Barr and others within the DOJ are doing in relation to the release of the Mueller report. Yeah, the hopes and fears here is the Devil card. It's quite clear that Rosenstein was under quite significant pressure from Trump. We've got the Page of Cups coming forward here. I feel there's been some disappointment for Rosenstein. I do feel that he's probably had to take less than what he wanted. I feel he's been under extreme pressure. This is some kind of small offering, though. I feel he basically held firm under the circumstances, that the fact that he's got the self-defense card shows me that he really did hold firm again under extreme pressure, but I feel that he was disappointed in some way. This is the Five of Pentacles, which is again being excluded and left out in the cold. Yep, and the Moon, secrets to be revealed. Okay, right. I think what happened to Rosenstein was this. He was under extreme pressure. He had a lot coming at him. And he resisted, he defended himself. I feel that there was some compromise there at some point. Now, I'm not saying that was a bad compromise, but there was something he had to give ground on that he didn't want to, but he did. I'm not saying he was compromised. I'm just saying that, you know, again, when you're negotiating, he may have to get to get something. He had to give something. So I do feel he was not compromised, but I do feel he had to take less in some way, and there's something around that. I do feel he's been excluded now, that the decisions are being made by the Attorney General, and he's not entirely happy about that. Now, we know that his signature was not on the Moore report. I know I said I wasn't going to read on the Moore report, but I'm reading on Rosenstein. And there are secrets to be revealed, something else to come out. So I just wanted to put that out there, that on Rosenstein. Now, voters, how are they perceiving the Democrats in the House and these investigations? Are the Democrats overreaching? I don't think so. My feeling is that they're not. I think that people are wanting this accountability. And I go back to that survey on voters' immigration. What was the next priority for voters was the values and the attributes of the leaders. And I feel that they're wanting this oversight on Trump. Okay, so how are voters perceiving the Democrats? How are voters? Average voters. Let's just give this another shuffle. How are average voters perceiving the Democrats? I feel that the Democrats have, really got to come forward with these. So not just focusing on taking Trump down, but also focusing on making their policies heard, and policies for all. It's not all about, the campaign's not all about, or won't all be about Trump. It'll be about a change. People are looking for change. They've actually got to inspire the electorate. How are they going? Do they think that do voters think there's overreach with all these investigations, or are they actually they're welcoming them? That's what I'm seeing. Okay, so we've got the Star of Hope. Yep. The average voter is actually welcoming the oversight of Trump. There's a real feeling that he doesn't have the right characteristics or the right values to lead the country, and they want him oversighted. Now, the challenge, this is an interesting card, the Four of Wands. This is around celebrations. So this is around not making it being bipartisan wherever they can, and not making it about win or lose. Now, we've got the foundation of the reading is the Hermit here, and this is an introspection and reflection. It's showing the care at which they need to move forward with, without doing this win-loss. If they come forward quite sensibly, quite do it with measured reflection, measured consideration around everything they do. They're actually also leading the way. They will be able to lead the way for others. The Nine of Pentacles, again, is this luxury, elite money. That's in the past, so that's telling me there's been a rejection of that. The Six of Cups, people wanting to return to safer times, return to the past, the security of the past. smoke screens, the Seven of Cups, and this is linking with the Six of Cups. I'll just bring the laptop down. Again, showing that people want the truth. So I'm expecting, yeah, the Seven of Swords. Yeah, I'm expecting these kind of cards to come up. This is the theft and betrayal. It is the situation at the moment. This is around voters feeling that there has been this betrayal, that this is the person, you know, making off with something in the middle of the night. Well, actually, it's in the daytime. Nevertheless, they're making off with quite a good haul there. That's how they perceive. They want the accountability. Okay, they're wanting balance in their politics. This is the angel, the temperance, the balance here. So they're wanting that balance. It's sitting right up the top of the person trying to get away with something here. So they're wanting the accountability. Hopes and fears, it's the significant work that that they're going to have to do. And that again is balancing the oversight of the Trump government with bringing forward their new policies. It's not all about Trump. Now we've got the Ten of Swords here. Are they wanting oversight? Absolutely, they're wanting oversight. This is endings. They're wanting endings. Okay, so that what is what is challenging, they're juggling things. They have to be extremely careful here. This is also the manipulation of the Republicans. But look, here's the victory card there for the Democrats. Yes, it's also a yes card. So people are wanting oversight of Trump. They just need to, the Democrats need to just, proceed sensibly and make sure that that's not the only thing. Oversighting Trump is not the only thing they're bringing forward. So, so people are welcoming the investigations. They're welcoming the investigations. They want accountability. It's giving them hope that this situation will come to an end and they'll be able to go back to more secure times. Now, the last question I'm going to read on something Joe Biden has been accused of inappropriate kissing or touching or something like that. He's saying he can't recall. 51% in this survey, 53% have, I guess it's fair to say that Biden's come out as one of the front runners at this stage. Bernie Sanders, it's also polled well. And, anything can happen. The other candidates, Harris, Beto, all of them are doing really well. But Biden, he's sort of perceived as an old favourite and someone who's got the experience to perhaps come in. But he hasn't come out and said he's running yet. A little bit uncertain around his energy. Okay, I'm just going to ask, what do we need to know about Joe Biden? He's hinted that he's going to run. He's currently undergoing some difficulty there. I think in a previous reading it showed that there would be some kind of issue there for him to deal with. And also the Republicans keep bringing up the past, his past as well. But voters are behind him. What do we need to know about Biden and this latest allegation? It's an allegation. What do we need to know? Okay, yeah, he's still considering whether or not he wants to run. I've always felt this little bit of a tug of war going on within him. I don't think he's absolutely wanting to take all of this on at his age and stage. Now we've got the Page of Wands, which is what's challenging him, and that's the electorate coming forward, really wanting him to run. That's the quest card. Also the communications. So potentially this could be that he is challenged by this latest allegation, and it's causing him to really reflect on exactly what he would have to put up with during the campaign. The foundation of the reading is this, the Ten of Cups, which is the average person, the families, the mums, the dads, the kids. This is also his own family as well. So he's also thinking about his own family. And the campaign impact on that. The Page of Pentacles in the past is around, so it's around patience and reliability, but it's also around some money news as well. And I'm not sure if he's looking at what sort of donations he's likely to get. The potential of the present here, we've got the Queen of Swords. This could be this woman, the woman that has accused him. Now, the immediate future is the Four of Wands. So, yeah, I don't feel that allegation is going to harm him too much, but it is an example of what he might be likely to face in the future, and he's thinking very carefully about whether he wants all of this. The Three of Cups here is around support. So I feel that he's got that at the moment. He's got the support to run. The Empress card is the environment around him. It's showing that really, I think this is also representing the voters. Enough voters would like him to run, and so the environment politically is quite rich for him. Hopes and fears. This is a body. This is legacies. His past could come against him if he goes on the campaign trail. The Republicans are likely to play dirty. That was my feeling. But we've got new beginnings for him. So this is quite an indication that he may run. There's also boundaries. So that's an interesting card. Boundaries. The Nine of Wands to come up for him, and the Knight of Wands here is someone who is about to undertake a new journey, a new project, an inspired journey. So it's also they haven't quite left yet. So I feel that he still is deciding about whether or not he will run. I'm not seeing him jumping on that horse and getting going at a gallop. I still feel that he's doing some reflection. But there is new beginnings here for him in some way. I feel that he's been, I guess, the allegation that has come forward, even though he has denied it, is an example of what's likely to be thrown at him. Also, the way that he conducted the Clarence Thomas Supreme Court hearing and nomination and hearing, that all of those things, and he knows that Trump will play dirty, the Republicans will play dirty, and he's worried about the effect of that on his family. So I do feel and there could also be some something around donations. Not donations, but the money that he would need to conduct that campaign. Okay, just last messages, I think, for the week. As we go into the week, what are we likely to see? Of course, with the Mueller report, we've got all those offshoot investigations. Anything could happen. So what are the messages from Spirit for this week? 3 messages, 3 cards. All this way. All right. Oh, the Chariot. Something's coming forward very strongly and quickly. The Page of Cups here. Some kind of proposal. What's that likely to be? And the Ace of Wands, new starts. We'll have to keep going. I know I only said 3 cards. The Two of Cups underneath something coming forward quite quickly. This is partnerships. What are my feelings around that? Are we going to see a bit of a breakaway from, a key, Republicans joining with Democrats in some way? It's interesting. And the Ace of Cups, new emotional starts. 2 aces being pulled in this reading. And the Page of Pentacles here coming forward underneath the Ace of Wands. Some sort of news coming forward. I feel that perhaps this week you could see some Republicans break away and join with the Democrats on something. I'm not sure what that is. There's definitely new emotional starts coming forward. I do feel, as I said last week, that now that we know that the Mueller report is likely to be handed down, that's allowing for some new starts. So I didn't see the Tower card in that draw. I didn't see the Devil come up. I had 2 aces, so I think it's going to be a reasonable week. But I just had this feeling when I was pulling those cards that we might see Republicans and Democrats join forces on something. So I'll leave that reading there. It's quite a long one, but I thought it was time to really cover a lot of questions. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for your support, viewers.